in the air, just short, almost. Taking a wicket in the first ball of the match. Full toss, yes. Sometimes these are the ones that get you the wickets.
Luckily for Kishan, just falling short of Robman Powell. Clean intent by Kishan, as you often see at the top of the innings. Just didn't find the gap on that occasion.
Yeah, 2 aggressive strokes to start. I was just wondering what sort of approach Darren they take, given that they're a little bit short in terms of batting, a lengthy lower order, maybe a little bit watchful at the start, laying a foundation. Seems as though they're looking to capitalize on this first 6 with the new hard ball.
If there's one thing, India will be fearless. And that's a brand of T20 cricket they want to play. You see that when these said players play in the IPL. They're very risk tolerant as batters at the top of the innings.
3 dots to start.
Other critical factor in the approach will be the pitch and how it plays. I had a chat with the curator and he mentioned that there was a little extra moisture on the surface because it's 2 T20 matches to be hosted at this national stadium venue. There's a break tomorrow and then the 3rd T20 International will be played. So there just might be a little bit of spice for the bowlers with that extra moisture.
Now this has been a good start from McCoy. 4 dots in succession. Just feeling the pressure perhaps, Kishan. Just got 6 from 9 deliveries in the first T20I. I mentioned he was quite prolific prior to that. 4 consecutive half centuries on the trot, 1 in the test, 3 in the ODIs. Off the mark.
First run for India. They'll know that capitalizing on the power play is an important role for both of them at the top of the innings. What they'll also know is when they look at that run chase in the first T20 International, it wasn't about their batting in the power play or through the middle. It was more so about what they did in the last 5 with that scoreboard pressure, with that target of 37 from 30. Different scenario now, batting first. No scoreboard pressure.
Exceptional start from the West Indies and Obed McCoy. 1 run in the first over, 1 without loss.
Still a flow of spectators coming into the ground. Ghanaian spectators are very passionate about the game of cricket here in South America.
Akil Hosein, really exceptional stuff from him. Amazing from Akil in the first T20I. 1 for 17 from his 4. Continues to show his value in this T20I team. Let's see what field he has for the left-handed Kishan. Deep backward square, deep mid-wicket. So no long on. That might be an area that Kishan targets. He likes to advance down the track. So his length has to be back. Starts short, just like he did in game 1. This time, he's deposited over deep backward square. Very cognizant that he can't be full, but way too short.
That length is asking for trouble. Turning the ball into the left-handed Kishan, going short. And although he's hitting into the wind, he's confident enough to clear the boundary leg side. Pressure on Hosein.
Yeah, that was the arm ball. Wanted to start with the one that left the left-hander.
I looked at that first game. Gill Hosein bowled 2 overs in the power play as against 3 overs from spin for India. Again, the conditions must be aligned with the choice of bowlers, so he'll look to see what degree of turn is on offer.
And after that delivery, first delivery of the over, there's a change in field, long on in position now. I think is the better option. If he wants to score backward of square, that's a risk, a much higher risk than hitting down the ground. And also allows you to bowl that bit fuller, which gives you wicket-taking options. So I prefer this field for the left-hander.
So much of playing T20 international cricket has to do with your assessment of things as the game progresses, the conditions, the form of bowlers on the day, how good you feel as a batter. That's something that captains will focus on as they make decisions going deeper into a match.
And they bowled a sensational delivery to get rid of Shubman Gill in game 1. Gill Hosein, nice flight and bounce and turn. Will feel more comfortable bowling against the right-hander. Again, will want to finish on the stumps, finish on middle and leg, no width. Very close. Very, very, very close to that off stump.
Just misjudging this delivery. He was expecting turn. Just ran on with the arm.
Wow.
As expected. This pitch not so dry as compared to the Brown Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, 8 runs from Hosein's first, 9 without loss. Lots of work for these two at the top. A strong middle order once again. Still, I suppose, in assessment mode. Both teams, the bowling team and the batting team. Alzarri Joseph replaces McCoy. Third and final leg in the circle. And it starts with a wide. So he has a third man who is quite wide on a deep backward square. Umpires for today, Leslie Reefer Jr. and Nigel Duguid.
Rugman Powell using his 2 deep fielders square of the wicket. That's also because of the stock length that Alzarri Joseph bowls. Usually he's short of a good length, so chances are run scoring opportunities will be presented square of the wicket. So good thinking by the West Indian captain. Now another change. Slip comes out. There is now a man in front of square. I go to short mid-wicket, yep.
Yeah, shot from Alzarri, not much from behind the wicket. Looking to bowl that straight line, knows how good Gill is square off the wicket on the offside. You've seen him stand beside the ball and just flare away through the offside. This one just nipped back in. And not too confident. Alzarri Joseph, none for 39 from his 4 in game 1. play and a miss. Aggression from Gill.
Oftentimes, as a captain in this phase of the innings, you're between a rock and a hard place with balancing attacking fielders with defensive fielders. Sometimes you're thinking about containment with a bowler who's had the best of times with the ball, as you just mentioned, Samuel Badri. Straight away you see that he's gone with a mid-wicket instead of the slip. I feel sometimes you've got to take the gamble, be a little more attacking.
Pulled away handsomely by Shubman Gill into the wind, but it doesn't matter. First 6 of the innings and the flags are waving.
Once again, that wind blowing from east across the ground, not so strong to prevent this ball from going all the way for 6. So bowlers will need to factor that in when they're deciding on their lengths. Can't bowl short to this man. Gets himself into very good positions. Nice, good hands as an opening batter.
Not exactly where he wanted it. Field on there. Shimron Hetmyer completes the catch. What a response from Alzarri Joseph, being struck for 6 previously and then getting the big wicket of Shubman Gill. First for the West Indies. 100th T20 wicket for Alzarri Joseph.
Yeah, he went a little bit fuller with his length. That is where he'll want to be on this surface, especially to a batter like Shubman Gill. That's a really good outcome for the West Indies. Gill doesn't really have a major impact. Gone for 7. It's 16 for 1.
India lose an early wicket. Surya Kumar Yadav in at number 3. 50th T20 international match for him. Exceptional strike rate, 174 for Sky. Change in field for him. The 3rd goes back. Romario Shepherd. Shimron Hetmyer comes to a regulation backward point. Good bit of captaincy for that Shubman Gill dismissal. Having Hetmyer in the exact position. Good delivery. Results in a single, a quick one. But a good over, successful over from Joseph. At the end of 3, India 17 for 1. Once again, India in some early troubles. Shubman Gill, the man gone for 7. Obed McCoy changes ends just like he did in the first game. Replaces Akil Hussain. So he's bowling from the commentary box end. Rahman Powell makes his way into that slip position. So looking to attack a little bit more. Good start for the West Indies. No. 100th wicket in T20s for Alzarri Joseph. Looking to go leg side, outer portion of the bat. And Hetmyer was strategically positioned deep point.
2 things about that dismissal. It was a pacey delivery, pace on. 146 kilometers per hour. The other thing is that was on the line of off stump. Gill was flicking across the line.
In there, falls safely. Again, looking to go onside. Not getting it where he wanted. Sky. Sustained pressure from the West Indies in the early exchanges.
Yeah, and it's the right bowling change, you would think, because after one over from Akil Hosein from the media center end, Obed McCoy follows. So just parking spin aside, Rovman Powell recognizing that there's a little bit of seam from this surface and reading the conditions well as the game is unfolding.
Derek it needed. Derek's hit. That man again, Calmeers. They're confident. Sky is already walking. Absolute brilliance, just like he did at Brian Lara. West Indies at this stage unstoppable.
Run out at the striker's end. Can you give me your best side-on shot, please? Bat is well short of the ground when the stumps are broken. Bails completely removed. Ready to make my decision to the big screen.
Perhaps one of the easiest decisions for the third umpire. Surya Kumar Yadav goes quite early and cheaply, just for one. In their sink further, 18 for 2. New batter for India, Tilak Varma, who made his debut in the previous match. These are his T20 records. Nice score of 84, not out. Plays for the Mumbai Indians, had 2 consecutive prolific seasons for them. And forced his way into this international team. Looked quite at home in game 1 on debut. Under pressure here, how will he respond? Another good delivery from McCoy. Darren Ganga, this was exceptional, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just underscores the importance of fielding, catching, out cricket in this format of the game. And as a matter of fact, all formats just gives a little more energy to bowlers and to fielding teams when you have fielders who are accurate with their throws, who are nimble on their feet.
In the air, fielder out there doesn't get close enough to it. Shamron Meyer restricts them to just 1. Varma off the mark.
And the energy in the outfield, it's transferable. Rolls into your batting, rolls into your bowling. And so far, the West Indians, they've shown good energy, good skill on the outfield.
Another successful over for the West Indies, 19 for 2 after 4. Samson, Hardik and Aksa, the recognized batters, left for India. So lots of responsibility on these two. Jason Holder, who was sensational in game 1, into the attack. Lots of variations from him. 2 for 19 with a maiden.
to see Holder with the ball in the power play. Again, showing the mindset of Robman Powell and what he thinks might be the more effective style of bowlers in these conditions here at the National Stadium in Providence. Holder used his cutters and slower deliveries to good effect in game number 1. Interesting to see if he employs a similar approach with the ball.
Now looks to heave this one on the leg side. Doesn't connect as well as he would have liked. Yeah, that 16th over in game 1. First ball, dislodging Hardik Pandya. And then a few dots to follow. One resulting in this run out. Another direct hit from Kalmeers. But this was the game-changing over. Tilted the balance significantly in favor of the West Indies. Also moved into second position of most wickets taken for the West Indies in T20I's Jason Holder. Shows his versatility now, bowling in the first 6. A wide signal. Robman Powell hasn't used any bowler consecutively so far in this first 6, so changing things up considerably. And quite a contingent support in India. No doubt they'll be in the minority in the stadium. Lots of West Indian support. Well fielded again. It's contagious. It's that man again, Kalmeers.
Very good. Once more from Kalmeers. Showing another sparkle in the outfield. Just getting it on at the right time. Moving efficiently to his left.
Over the top. Will go for 4. Might have even gone all the way. Just one bounce. Good strike from Varma.
The very good T20 batters are unfazed by the situation of the game, especially within the power play. Despite losing wickets, they recognize that it's important to focus on boundary scoring. And that is exactly the mindset that this young man has.
And again, field out there. Shimron Hetmaya will restrict them to just 1. Tilak Varma plucked from tennis ball cricket and demonstrated abilities and was spotted and given an opportunity to play hard ball cricket. We'll read of his journey from those days and making his international debut, playing in the IPL. Like so many of these other guys, the struggles that they've gone through. Just a single. Solid start from Holder. 9 runs coming from it. 5 gone, 28 for 2.
At the end of over number 5.
Joseph change ends. Ball is first over from the players' pavilion end where he got the wicket of Shubman Gill. Hasn't been yet at his best since returning from the qualifiers in Zimbabwe. I would say standards have been rising higher and higher, but struggled a little bit across the test series and the white ball phase. Hoping today will be better. Quick to jump onto the shortness of length, just back of a length again, Kishan.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a short delivery, just back of a length. But Kishan is quick onto that length and he pulls that wide of long on. So pressure on Azari Joseph.
Because of that pull shot, they've changed the field. The sweeper has come up off the offside boundary. And now we have a deep square, top left of your screen. And a little bit to his right is a deep mid-wicket. So no margin for error outside the off stump. Very good. Wrong staff have worked hard. At practice yesterday, we saw the West Indies with a few of the net bowlers, Shakira. A couple of local guys, Shamar Joseph, who played a few first-class games for Guyana. And one or two of the others getting the ball to really go through and lift off the surface, which is different, slightly different from some of the pitches we've seen here at Providence in the past. Really good to see a little bit of extra grass on this surface too. McCoy does well.
West Indies have been good in the field so far. They've supported their bowlers quite well. And it's something that you will want to see more consistently from West Indies. So it's good to see they can come and follow up that performance that they put down that last game in Trinidad.
And that's an interesting shot from Tilak Varma for several reasons, but for me, the one is we saw his first two shots in Trinidad. One was a pickup over square leg. He's decided with two fielders leg side, he doesn't want to chance it there yet. He wants to go over the offside or through it. Joseph's lines have been tight, really good.
Final delivery of the power play coming up.
Yeah, after that pulled boundary, Joseph has come back well. 6 overs completed, 34 for 2.
Leslie Reefer Jr. just signaling the end of the power play. And it's Romario Shepherd into the attack. 24 wickets in 28 matches. Economy rate just over 10. But that's because of the periods he's had to bowl in. Did mention he's excited to be playing only his second T20 international at home. Kishan got off to a flyer, hitting the 6, and then Shaman Gill 6 and out. Pretty handy catch on the boundary by Shane Hetmeyer. But then this, a good bit of work by Kyle Mears. A run out and putting India further on the back foot. So now it's down to Kishan and Tilak Varma. India only getting to 34 for 2 in the power play. They got to 45 for the same 2 in that first game in Trinidad. So West Indian bowlers have been really good. It's been really good changes as well by their captain, Powell, forgive me.
Yeah, no bowler, the only one who's bowled 2, and it hasn't come from the same end. So the rotation of the bowlers has been good. He's a good captain. He's a good leader. We've seen Powell. We've seen him lead the Jamaica Talawas to the CPL title. We've seen him leading overseas in the UAE. And we saw him leading, for example, in South Africa earlier this year to a series win. He has something about him. And when he's on the field, if you're ever at the ground, I'm speaking to those who will visit the grounds, you can know who the leader is by his authority. Shepherd got away with that one on leg stump with a short, fine leg.
And it's a big call for him, Powell, that is, to be on the boundary so early. He is one of the best fielders in this side. If he's on the boundary that early, it means he has to rely on his senior players in the circle, along with Nicholas Puran.
Nice change-ups from Romario Shepherd again. 7 overs gone, 37 for 2. The thing he do, he covers some yardage, Powell. You have to be fit. He's running from long on up to his bowlers, jogging back. But we see it more and more in T20 cricket with the best leaders, the best fielders who are leaders have in those high traffic areas. Another change. Kyle Mayers. Let's see if he can find a way to slide this slightly older ball than some teams use him with, to move away with the seam up from the left-handers and occasionally that leg cutter. Very good. Very good from Kyle Mayers, with Puran standing up and wearing it in the collarbone.
Yeah, Kyle Mayers didn't bowl in that first encounter. But you think it could be a good change from Powell. He started quite well.
Bravery. And something that has become very commonplace, that type of shot in the modern T20 game.
People have spoken quite often about Tilak Varma's ability to manipulate the field. It's not an uncommon shot. Short fine leg and short third in the circle. So he just has to make enough contact. That prompts a change of field. Powell coming into the circle to mid off. The fielder at short fine going back on the boundary.
And the reason that went leg side is because an additional fielder had dropped back on the leg side. Mayers wanted to ensure that he gave no room outside the off stump. There was that line of fielders riding the boundary from top to bottom left of your screen.
Tilak Varma got 39 off just 22 deliveries. Hit 2 wonderful sixes. And he showed the amount of ability he possesses. Coming in and playing a very confident knock, unable to take his team across the line. But another chance for him today.
Work for Johnson Charles. Oh no. Better should have been done given the type of excellence we've seen from the bowler himself in the field in Kyle Mayers. He'll be a little bit disappointed in that Charles effort.
Yeah, he and everyone will be disappointed that Johnson Charles wasn't able to save this one. He got there. Perhaps he got there a bit too quickly, just sliding past it.
It's an interesting discussion. I know Ronak rightly talked about the lack of depth in India's batting, and I suppose the paucity of top-order bowlers who actually, top-order batters who bowl generally across their international scene. I'll touch on it next over.
Okay.
Just one. 49 for 2-8 gone. Another change of bowler from that players' pavilion in, Holder replacing Shepherd. And just on the point that domestically in the IPL and I think one of the domestic tournaments, you have the impact player rule. A rule that allows you, and I thought it went down well when they used it in the IPL and when they used it in the domestic tournament. But how it sets you up for the international game, being able to swap in a batter for a bowler as the 50 comes up, or swap in a bowler for a batter, is going to be the interesting thing that will evolve over the next couple of seasons, whether it has any impact at all.
There's that change of pace from Jason Holder. It looked to be a cutter of sorts, and it just held up in the pitch. The back of the hand.
Yeah.
Pace off again, hard to time it. Just wonder who bowls the next over. Will it be Romario Shepherd coming from the media center end or someone else? Good from Joseph. Just want to touch on fitness as well. We talked a lot about fitness from a batting perspective in the ODI series, and running those ones and twos, turning them into other scoring opportunities. Even in the field, cutting the angles. Saving one, saving a couple of runs, maybe 5, 6 an innings, really is another part of the culture the West Indies will be looking to build.
Good short delivery from Jason Holder. Just surprising Tilak Varma a bit there. He's gone to his variations this over. It looks to be an off-cutter right into the pitch. Importantly, he got it high enough. Wide signal by umpire Leslie Reeford Jr. So it will be an extra ball.
Yeah, I think the ball before the wide, Tilak Varma and Kishan were wondering whether that was too high as well. And just looking at it there, even though you're judging it from standing in the upright position, Holder lucky to get away with a non-wide call. And they look at the square leg umpire, then too wondering if it's above waist high. So a lot happening. 9 overs gone, 53 for 2.
End of the 9th over. India 53 for a loss of 2.
West Indies with a victory in the first game. And they stay here for the third of the National Stadium. Weather has been good. Yesterday, weather was brilliant. Today, it looks as though it'll continue to be so. And then we go to Florida for the last 2. Romario Shepherd from around the wicket again, changed ends.
Very good. He will have to remain tight into the legs of these left-handed batters with 3 men stationed on the leg side boundary. Looks like Kishan just wants to change his bat, but not the right one coming onto the field. But you were right, Bish. You spoke about cutting the angles, and I think that is so crucial as it relates to fielding.
He bowled that from so far behind the crease, but it did not fool Kishan. That must have been 24 yards as opposed to 22.
It's an excellent adjustment by Kishan. Ball from way behind, and it was also a slower delivery. So he was almost through the shot a bit too early. He bowled out from behind the umpire. So Kishan did really well to clear that leg side boundary.
Top delivery. The excellence from Shepherd continues. The crowd loves it from the homeboy. Top of off.
I'm sure the bowling coach will be smiling. It's exactly what every bowling coach tells you to do. Hit the top of off stump. And what a follow-up delivery. A cutter, the previous delivery, bowled from behind the umpire, and this one pace on. And it does. Kishan all ends up. He goes for 27. India lose their third at 60.
And as Ishan departs, Blue goes off the field. Blue comes on. Blue Waters drinks break.
Country with the island, a country with the island vibe. I swear I had an eyes, and yeah, we just down all night. So Tony got the whole place hype, and we celebrating life. Coffee in the morning, so we toast it. No, we ain't bullshit. No. Nice. Oh no.
I'm telling y'all, there is nothing like it. The experience of what it feels like to be here at Kaitor.
So much to see and do, and South American coastline here in the country of Ghana. Sanju Samson run out at a critical time in that first game. Can he make do? Shepherd continues. That was a special delivery though. Look at the seam position, folks, as it goes down. That slanted seam from that low arm of Romario Shepherd, a slingy action, the seam off kilter, and just holding its line as it pitches from round the wicket. Not this time. He had a trial run at it, the ball before, but it went straight to Hetmeyer point. This time early, but 4.
What he does well this time, Sanju Samson, is he plays it a lot later, allowing him to hit it to the left of Sharon Hetmeyer at backward point. He's off the mark with a boundary.
Got to be a slightly tighter line. Got to be tighter. Yes, tighter line. Wicket in the over though. 65 for 3 at the halfway mark.
India in a spot of bother. Hardik and Akshar, and then the bowlers. It's the tail that Hardik Pandya isn't bothered about. Here's Jason Holder.
At the end of 10 overs,
He's been good, Rodman Powell, with the use of his bowlers. It's the 1 over for Akil Hosein. It's an option that went away from him once the 2 left-handers were batting. Tried to nick in an over of Kyle Mayers as well for insurance, but between Holder and Shepherd, keeping a lid on it. West Indies are dealing some severe body blows as well. Darren Ganga there on top.
Indeed, Ronak. Couple things to admire about the West Indians and their bowling effort. Of course, no one bowler has bowled back-to-back overs, so all 1 over spells employed by Rodman Powell. What you're also seeing is his cricket intelligence. Just 1 over of spin. Think seam is the way to go. That's why they're in a commanding position. Going into the 11th over, just 67 for 3. And India, they reflect on that power play and think that they should have gotten more in terms of runs. Just 34 for 2 after 6. And then in the next 4, the run rate increasing to 7.7. You'll expect many more runs as this innings closes out.
Yeah, 1-0 down in the series. Enough reaction, reflection on the balance of the team. It's not something that bothers the Indian team management. Curious decision to bat first. Seen 6 out of last 8 T20Is. Captains have chosen to bowl. It's 4-3 in favor of chasing. Average score of 148 at stadium here in Guyana. Tilak Varma, tremendous. 1 bounce, 4 over cover.
He's as fluent as we've seen in this series. 39 on debut. Here again, the lone man taking control of the run scoring in the middle phase of the innings. After India lost a couple of wickets in that power play.
Just over. Might just be a chance. Will be 4. Rub of the green going Tilak Varma's way. Might just be what India needed. Couple of boundaries to finish the 11th. 76 for 3. It certainly seems like Romario Shepherd got a piece of that. Right, how close was this? Romario Shepherd certainly got something onto it.
Timed his jump quite well. Was a difficult chance. Can't fault him for effort. Yep, Jason Holder recognizes that.
Return of Akil Hosein. Bowled the second over of the innings. Bowling to Sanju Samson.
And you can tell why he's brought back. Of course, 2 right-handers at the crease. Powell and Akil Hosein will think that he's much more effective to the right-handers because of the line that he bowls, very straight. Maybe the older ball might give him a little more purchase from the surface.
Gone. Sanju Samson beaten all ends up. And Nicholas Puran does the rest. Akil Hosein will hear the cheers that come his way. India have lost 4.
Yeah, in this fashion, you'd think that that was a brain fade from Sanju Samson. He's a much better player. Didn't really give himself time to understand the conditions. Was only his 7th delivery. And Hosein proving his captain right. Samson gone for 7, 76 for 4.
Captain walks out amidst a crisis call. Chose to bat first. He's lost 4 of his top order batters. Last of which was Sanju Samson, comprehensively beaten. And that shot wasn't on, Darren Ganga?
Not at all. Too high risk in the situation. Not understanding the conditions. You still, as a batter in T20 cricket, need to recognize the conditions. Respect it as well. Not Sanju Samson. To the delight of Akil Hosein, though.
Slip in place.
Go! No, Zari, relax. Relax, Zari.
This is exactly the predicament that will challenge the balance of this team. It's one thing to go wrong in a chase where you needed 37 of 30 with 6 wickets in hand and you think that may not happen every time. But when you bat first, 4 down, 11th over, Akshar Patel to come and then the bowlers. Plenty riding on Tilak Varma, who's just on his second T20 international.
Hey, Ronak, I understand your point. Of course, Akshar Patel batting at number 7. You look at this Indian batting lineup and the names and what they've produced in the past in the IPL for India. You think that it wouldn't redound to number 8, 9, 10, having to contribute with the bat. Again, maybe just highlighting the batting quality, the experience of this lineup.
I'm not saying it's an easy fix, Darren, because batters don't bowl, bowlers don't bat. It's all well and good to add another specialist batter in. That leaves you light on the bowling, but reality of the situation is India could still make do with one bowler short. Thought about the overthrow, but decided against it. Come back to that, 79 for 4.
12 overs have been completed. India 78 for a loss of 4.
West Indies have been outstanding in the field as well. One out of Surya Kumar Yadav, the back of Shubman Gill's early loss. It's an innings now that needs resurrection from the likes of Tilak Varma and Hardik Pandya. Alzari Joseph. As Powell continues to shuffle his bowlers around. Yeah, just to come back to the point of the number of batters India have and the depth, you want them to commit to this risk-free approach, play with freedom. It's worked so well for a number of teams. England, great example. You can only do that when you have depth. If you have batting collapses, if you miss up with chases like they did in the last game, Darren, just worried that the likes of Shubman Gill will begin to play differently. That isn't a habit you want to carry on to. What you're trying to instill is the next generation of, or the next set of T20 players ahead of a World Cup in these parts of the world in a year.
Look, it's a shift in the T20 game. No longer are the best T20 sides relying a lot on an anchor to be the glue in a batting innings. This is what, the 4th T20 International Series that India is playing as a team without Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. So again, it's a new approach, a different approach in T20 batting for India. It's a risk-tolerant approach, and you'd expect that sometimes that batting unit will fail.
High in the air, fielders converging, dropped. 2 fielders on the ground along with the ball as Tilak Varma survives.
With the standard that we've seen in the out cricket and the catching, as a West Indian, you should be disappointed with this effort. The ball hung in the air for a long time. Ubed McCoy had to cover a long distance, got his hands to it, but couldn't hold on. Yeah, just making contact with his fingers. Good work in the end, though, by Brandon King to prevent the boundary.
Yeah, it's twice now in the last few overs that Tilak Varma has offered difficult chances. Romario Shepherd putting one down at short fine of Jason Holder. Now Obed McCoy, Falzari Joseph. So rubber the green going Tilak's way.
Just to finish my point, with that high-risk approach to batting, it will make wicket-taking a lot easier for opposition teams. It might just push some of these Indian players to be a little more conservative, and that is not what you want to have happening. You still want to see that fearless, courageous approach to batting. That is where they will set higher standards for themselves collectively as a team.
I just think it's a tall ask for 4 specialist batters and then the 2 all-rounders to always carry the batting. You will have moments in the field like you've seen with Kyle Mayers in 2 games. So you will have a Surya Kumar Yadav run out or a catch brilliantly.
But having made those points, I still feel as a T20 team, you've got to play according to the resources that you have. So if you have batters who can play that anchor role, why not use them to the full capacity of their ability?
Bear in mind, of course, that the average score here is 148. So India get there and end up winning, they'll think that this is the way to go. It's going to be at least 2. Shimron Hetmyer in the deep. Just 6 of the over though. 85 for 4. What can India get? Final 7. Double strikes in 2 key phases in the innings. Shubman Gill and Surya Kumar Yadav early, losing Kishan and Samson.
Oh, you kill, mate. Love that.
India, they've done well with the bat in this middle phase. They're going at 7.2 runs per over. Very similar to what they achieved in that run chase in the first match. For me, what will be critical is how they play the last 5. Having lost 4 wickets, does this team have the depth in batting to make use of those last 5 overs in these conditions?
Interesting matchup this. Hosein to Hardik. Going into this game, 11 runs of 15 balls. No dismissals, but he's watchful. Early in his international career, Tilak Varma too is having to craft a different kind of T20 innings. 11 dot balls in 31 spaced. Hit the ground running in the last game. Striking at 200 early on, finished with a strike rate of 170 plus. Here until those back-to-back boundaries a couple of overs ago, he was going at less than a run a ball. So it's a great education for him.
And he must be an inspiration to young under-19 players. He played in that 2020 under-19 World Cup, didn't produce a lot of runs with the bat, only 86. And then he has risen.
Hey, Kili. Not bad at all.
Risen to great heights of playing for his country, being prolific at the IPL, realizing his true potential as a batter. Look at this batting lineup. He looks as the only batter in really good form in this Indian T20 international side.
He played a similar innings in the opening game of this year's IPL for Mumbai. Pulls out the reverse with great effect. 4 more for Tilak.
His skill set is something to behold. If you're looking at a young batter in the modern game, his shot selections, always on point. Just toying with Akil Hosein, hitting against the turn, capitalizing on the field set.
Mumbai Indians were in all sorts of trouble in that game against RCB. Got a 84 not out of 46, incredible innings. Change of angle from Akil Hosein. It's much better over for India with runs of every ball. 9 off, 94 for 4.
At the end of over number 14, India 94 for a loss of 4.
Six overs to go. Average score of this ground 148. West Indies successfully defending 149 in the opening T20I at the Brian Lara Academy. 8 and over gets India past 140. Turn forward McCoy. I heard Ian Bishop talk a little while back about Robin Powell, the captain, and how he continues to grow in the job. Brisk changes. Don't want a batter to line up a bowler, but it must be hard for a bowler to not even get second over. But that is something they're used to in the modern game.
Yeah, support balanced here. The National Stadium in Providence.
It's the highest T20I score for Tilak Varma, 39 in the opening game, 40 not out now. Gets away with that. Shepherd knows as well. Half a foot either side of him, that would have been 4.
Good to see McCoy back with the ball. I'm sure Rahman Paul will save one of his overs for the last 5 into his 3rd over. And that slow delivery off the back of the hand, creating a dot delivery.
That's the pickup that Tilak Varma is going to make his signature shot by the look of things. 6 to bring up the 100.
And a pace on delivery, 131 kilometers per hour, just allows enough pace on the ball for Tilak Varma to just use it and beat that field at short fine leg. Approaching a landmark, a significant one in his career, Tilak Varma.
Good running. Wanted to as soon as he hit it, Tilak Varma, and Hardik Pandya responded. Moves to 48.
Yeah, what you'll know is he'll have 2 overs of Romario Shepherd in the last 5. What we saw in that very first T20 International was 2 overs of Jason Holder in the last 5. 1 of McCoy, 1 from Alzari Joseph, and the last over that won the game for the West Indies was bowled by Romario Shepherd. So seam will be the order of the day in the last 5.
Fifth wide of the innings. If we end up getting a low-scoring thriller like we did in the last game, look at all these moments. Whatever India get here, the spinners that they have will pose a different set of questions. The West Indies only have Akil Hosein. So Yuzvendra Chahal strike immediately his first over.
At the same time, the West Indies will not want to take the last 5 overs for granted, because these two, they've played that finisher role on a number of occasions in the past. Most teams, they aim for over 10s in the last 5, and if you project that with what the score is, that's close to 150, 160, which is a workable target for the Indian bowlers.
You can sense that Hardik Pandya is just going to wait before he shifts gears. Delay the onslaught as such.
The very good batters, they target bowlers. So which bowlers in this complement to be used by Powell is the easiest to target? Might be Alzari Joseph with his pace on. Seen more slower deliveries from Romario Shepherd, even from Jason Holder. So that will be the thought processes in the minds of Pandya and Varma.
It's a quick single, and it is a statement and a glimpse of a glorious future that India might have. Tilak Varma has 50 for the first time in international cricket. Well played, young man. 106 for 4.
Number 15, 106 for the loss of 4.
Terrific Tilak. What a moment for him. Only his second match in international cricket, T20Is, and he's rolling on. Superb stuff from him. Have a closer look at where he scored his runs today. Mainly leg side, but also quite good through the offside as well.
The end of 15, India slightly behind where they were in that first T20 international. They were 113 for 4 after 15. In that first game, trying to get 37, they didn't get there. How many more can they get in these last 5? That is top class from Hardik Pandya. A solid strike.
He's played this shot before along the ground. This time he was only thinking one result, 6. Absolutely hammered that, Hardik Pandya. A 6-hitter of some repute. We've seen him before at the death in T20Is in the IPL. Quite a difficult proposition if he gets going. I just wondered if Akil Hosein would bowl his allotment of 4, given the fact that Kalmi has had 1, who would be the other bowler to miss out. It's not Akil.
That's the length on this pitch, Akil. That's a length, Akil. That's a length, Akil.
Just here, Nicholas Puran endorsing the length that he needs to bowl.
Come on, buddy.
Back of a length into the pitch.
Dapper, dapper, dapper. Good energy. Eyes on him, Akil.
Not enough on it. And the adjustment made to take the catch from Obed McCoy. He put down Tilak earlier. No mistake this time.
Yeah, into the pitch. That's exactly what Nicholas Puran was advising. Hitting into the wind. Lots of height and not enough distance. Good judgment from McCoy. Varma goes for an excellent 51. 1-1-4 for 5.
Axel Patel replaces Tilak Varma. Strikes at a good rate when he gets going.
Yeah, much shorter from Akil Hussain, asking him to hit in that general direction. Didn't get as much of it as he wanted, Varma. Had to come forward at the very end, McCoy, because of the wind, just held up. 2 wickets for 28. 1 delivery left from Akil Hussain's spell. Has been good again. Expensive first over. Came back strongly. 1 for 17 in game 1, 2 for 28 so far.
Another successful over, 16 gone, 115 for 5.
Akil Hussain completes his spell. 2 for 29 from 4 overs. India 115 for 5 at the end of 16 overs.
6 bowlers used today by Rovman Powell. 1 over for Kyle Mears. 12 runs coming from that. Others have been really good.
A final over for Jason Holder, player of the match first game, none for 24 so far.
Still looking quite relaxed, Rahul Dravid and Vikram Rathore, batting coach and head coach. How many can they defend to level the series?
mind would be calculating as to who bowls the next one. Just made a signal there, I think, to Alzari Joseph, who's down there at long on. Obed McCoy and Romario Shepherd. The Obed comes from the opposite end, for which Holder is bowling there now, the media center end. He's an option. Hasn't played a lot of cricket in the last, I would say, since the last IPL, one game. He's played a lot.
Yeah, and Rahman Powell once again must be commended for his captaincy and the changes that he's made with his bowlers. Did a really good job in game one. Mentioned earlier that he was the captain of the Jamaica Talawars, the team that won the CPL last year, right at this very ground. Captain the Jamaica Scorpions to the domestic 50-over comp.
That is what you call mishitting with precision. 120 for 5.
Over number 17, India 125, 3 overs. DJ Ryan.
Chahal, Arshdeep, Mukesh and Ravi Bishnoi, the remaining batters beyond this pair. Bishnoi coming in to replace Kuldeep today. Not really any excellence in the remaining batting is with this pair. Alzari Joseph got that signal from Rahman Powell, and he's the man allotted to bowl over number 18. The only thing I'd say about Powell's leadership is that beyond the team, he was very good in South Africa as well earlier this year. And you were there with him being in South Africa. If he can only get his ODI game in order, his ODI batting, he would add some much needed brains trust and decision making. But he needs to get his batting in order at that format. Pandya power, where he's so good at six hitting.
Yeah, one titan to another. And it's the captain who prospers. A sensational strike from Hardik. Just stand and deliver. Good swing of the bat, pace on from Alzari. And that's traveled some distance. Sorry, might just be thinking about change of pace. Just ask him to manufacture that power. And there it is, just a change up. Don't give him anything to work with.
Strike rate quite low when he gets the ball, well, in the slot, because it's named that way, because it's where batters look to tee off at a higher tempo. Good length is not a bad area, or hasn't been a bad area earlier in the innings anyway.
An area where both these teams would be looking to improve, with one eye on the T20 World Cup next year. From West Indian standpoint, they're bowling in the last 5. How many they can restrict opposition players for, and from an Indian standpoint, how many they can get.
He's so good. He was discussing and working on that particular delivery from a little part of the warm-up this morning. And he gets his Gujarat Titans captain. Pandya goes.
Exceptional stuff. Look at that. On target. Not much Hardik could do with that one. At pace, searing Yorker. Not much response from Alzari. Hardik goes for 24. India 129 for 6.
Ravi Bishnoi in for his first game of the series, joins Patel.
Really good from Alzari. Hit for 6 earlier in the over. He gets his revenge. Incidentally, both wickets for Alzari has been against his Gujarat Titans teammates. Shubman Gill first, and then Hardik Pandya. McCoy to bowl the penultimate. Mario Shepherd will be entrusted, no doubt, with the responsibility of the last. Aksa Patel can strike them as we've seen before. He will want to take the majority of these remaining 12 deliveries. Hitting leg side with the wind.
Sorry, boys, we just had a chat, boys.
West Indies have the advantage of having a look at the surface and seeing how it has played. Not much spin, but just enough for the 3 spinners from India. Chahal, Bishnoi and Aksa Patel. Mukesh Kumar was good in game 1.
Call is for 2. Jason Holder gets to it. Rifles the throw in. But Aksa's back.
Keep rolling that ball, that ball.
I think one of the things Powell stated yesterday is an important factor in the media conference. He talked about the left-handers, having 3 left-handers in that top order for West Indies batting. And because the right-handers have struggled against wrist spin, that those 3 left-handers have a huge and significant responsibility in negating whether it's the finger spin of Axar Patel or the wrist spin of Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav. He was very strong on that point going forward on the responsibility of, to a lesser extent, Mayers, but more so Hetty or Hetmeyer and Puran. The long legs of Holder can't get across to that. That's as straight as it comes from Axar Patel.
Yeah, not much brutality in this shot. Just a push, pick that slower ball. But the placement was ideal. Split the fielders at long on and long off. Good timing from Axar Patel.
Assume that Romario Shepherd will be entrusted with that final over. That's been very good from the West Indies. A couple of blemishes in the field with a couple of drop catches and a misfield by Johnson Charles. But again, we've seen energy and reasonable discipline with the ball. Single not taken. Axar wants to start the over on strike. 139 for 6.
Ayan ang over ng 19 in your 139 from Los Angeles.
Struggle for Shubman Gill at the top. Surya Kumar Yadav run out by some impressive work from Kyle Mayers. Tilak Varma with his first half century in international cricket. Shepherd round the wicket to Axar Patel. Should be another. Puran clears the way. And the excellent work from Romario Shepherd with the ball continues. Applause from Puran. And the captain right now, Powell, is a happy man with what he's seen.
An applause from the home support for Romario Shepherd as well, who continues to impress. Has been a difficult period for him, but it's good to see that he's getting the reward for all of the hard work that he's put in. Romario Shepherd. Axar Patel, who wanted strike for the final over, goes off the first delivery for 14, 139 for 7.
Number 2, Arshdeep Singh.
Arshdeep Singh. Effective enough for India. Shepherd perhaps wanted to get him tugging a little bit more in front of square with 3 deep fielders.
Yeah, just like he did at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Swings his bat, not where he wanted it, not in control, but gets the boundary. Gets them to 143. Remember, West Indies made a 149 in game 1, which proved sufficient. They're not far off the mark here, India.
Good from Shepherd.
Shepard.
And again, I'll endorse being just seeing Shepherd put in the work. He has taken a fair amount of ridicule, but the West Indies have stuck with him and he's put in that work to see him getting any measure of success. That typical celebration there again. And I think you have to give guys a chance to mature through thick and thin. Ravi B brings up the 150 for India.
Yeah, very diminutive, but don't be fooled. He can't hit them, as we've seen here. Misses his length slightly and disappears. That is some strike from Bishnoi.
One more to close it out. Arshdeep will have his say. Ravi Bishnoi. Really good matchup against Rothman. Powell as a bowler 5 times at an average of under 6. That is ahead of us. Very good. Get those Yorkers in. So India finished their effort on 152 for 7.
Yeah, just gesticulating to the DJ to be silent. First ball. Gone. What a catch. We've seen some exceptional fielding today. None better than that. That is a superb and sensational start for India. And that man Sky.
As perfect a start as India would expect in defense of their 152. A half volley that should have been dispatched. The gap should have been found. But Brandon King just going to the right of Surya Kumar Yadav. Couldn't get it through. Brilliance in the field. To the disappointment of Brandon King, who goes without scoring. First ball, none for 1.
Johnson Charles, the new batter for the West Indies. Already has a T20I century. Breathtaking stuff from Surya Kumar Yadav. Diving low down to his right, first ball off the chase. Absolutely perfect start for India. Similar shot this time along the ground. Will challenge the boundary. Charles off the mark, West Indies off the mark.
You immediately see that extra energy from the Indian fielders, from the brilliance of Surya Kumar Yadav in that very first delivery. His anticipation was very good. Was on the move, found himself in a very good base position to dive right. Well, a few things the West Indian batters will glean from that first half of this second T20 International. Of course, there is a bit of purchase for the spin. The wind that comes from left of screen is not so potent to prevent batters from hitting aerial leg side. Likes of Puran, Hetmire, the lefties will want to capitalize on that. They premise their game on aggression with the bat.
In there again and gone again. Hardik Pandya is having a sensational first over. 2 wickets. What a start for India.
And that hint of swing, which is another factor with the new ball, proving to be a real asset for Hardik Pandya and India. Just blowing away a fraction. Johnson Charles trying to negotiate that away movement, could only open the blade and reach for that delivery. It's Tilak Varma this time with the catch, and Johnson Charles falls for two. West Indies in trouble, 2 for 2.
Nicholas Puran makes his way out to the middle. Unbeaten 74, his best in T20I, scored at this ground last year against Bangladesh. This is the reason why he's here. Look at that seam position, a hint of a waist swing, and a simple catch for Tilak Varma. The third time in T20 internationals that the West Indies have lost 2 wickets in the first over. We still have another delivery, another couple deliveries actually. Really magnificent stuff from Hardik and from India. Exactly what they needed. If they felt they were a little bit short with the bat, well, they've made up for that almost immediately. Deciding this time around to take that new ball himself and justifying that decision. Playing a most eventful and successful first over, 2 for 2.
He's pumped up. Yeah, taking things into his own hands, recognizing the importance of squaring the series. Hardik Pandya then opened the bowling in that first match. It was Arshdeep Singh and Mukesh Kumar. Now Hardik and Arshdeep with the new balls.
Arshdeep from the commentary box end. Yeah, he didn't get going in game 1. Kalmir's 1 from 7. Under pressure early on, 2 left-handers at the crease. Nicholas Puran, on the other hand, got off to a flyer. Looked to take on the spinners in the power play. Has 5 overs of power play this time around. That's Arshdeep Singh's T20I record. Huge shot from Arshdeep. Finger goes up. This is remarkable. Nicholas Puran, well, he reviews it immediately.
Thank you, Nigel. Player review for LBW, given the out. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on field is out. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved. Can we just have Ultra Edge to confirm that? It's a flat line as the ball goes past the bat, and satisfied there is no contact between bat and ball. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Thank you. Standing by. All tracking's coming up. Pitching in line. Impact umpire's call. Wickets missing. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel.
Decision overturned. A good decision for Nicholas Puran. Remember that first T20I, Kyle Mears was given out. LBW didn't review and wasn't hitting. Nicholas Puran reviewed straight away, just missing that off stump. Good start nonetheless from Arshdeep. Testing, challenging, asking questions.
Straight away, a significant swing from the opening bowlers. Oftentimes, batters bat out of their crease to counter that significant swing with the new ball. Nicholas Puran might just be batting out of his crease.
Additional slip fielder in position now. Yeah, there it is again, that swing that you're talking about. This is high quality bowling from the two Indian fast bowlers. Look at the seam position and the late movement away.
As expected, there's that stance position out of the crease.
Just tempering his aggression slightly. Didn't go too hard at that last delivery. Realizing that it's risky and that they're in a precarious position at 4 for 2. These two will just need to settle things down slightly. On target once again from Arshdeep.
Mears, better offside player. And so far, so good for these spectators. India on top in this defense.
Yeah, superb start from Arshdeep. Just 2 coming from that over. 4 for 2.
2 overs have been completed. West Indies 4 for a loss of 2.
West Indies in pursuit of 153. Well, they're tottering at the moment, 4 for 2 in 2 overs. Over the top, that's some response from Nicholas Puran. Belligerent, outstanding.
And what we saw from Tilak Varma when India lost a couple wickets is exactly what we're seeing from Nicholas Puran. On phase with the fact that India had early wickets. He's a type of player that will see ball and hit ball. Such a clean striker of the cricket ball. One of the very best in this format, Nicholas Puran.
Expect him to adjust his length, Hardik. Much shorter than that previous delivery. Yeah, clever. Really clever from Hardik. This is the first over, very first delivery. Well struck, but straight to the fielder. And then a simple catch, a gentle loft from Johnson Charles to Tilak Varma. But you can see the away swing that was problematic for the batters. Nicholas Puran still looking to be positive in power play. 1. The first power play, the only power play as well. gets a couple.
Puran so supremely confident in his ability, his strengths as a batter. Loves over-pitch deliveries, could hit the ball down the ground. Gets himself into a very good base as a batter. He's never on the move. Low center of gravity in his stance.
In the gap, smashed. Short and given the treatment from a very positive looking Nicholas Puran.
Yeah, because of that stance position and that base, he's able to judge deliveries wide outside the off stump. Allows him the power and an optimal swing square of the wicket. Finds a gap too. That's his excellence as a batter.
Yeah, how does he respond, Hardik? 3 fielders behind point on the offside. Has protection there. They're trying to exert some pressure back on the bowlers, Nicholas Puran. 14 from 10.
So important for Kyle Mayers to support this run chase with good rotation of strike. Not absorbing too many dot balls in the early parts of this run chase. It's 1 from 3 only.
Well, gets the gap. That will be his first boundary. A sort of a gift from Hardik Pandya, an expensive over from him. 21 for 2. Yeah, West Indies getting a really good over. That last one from Hardik Pandya, 17 runs coming from it. Good running. Really good from Nicholas Puran. Immediately took off. They need to intersperse the boundary hitting with good running between the wickets.
Well, in the previous over, he ran one to deep third, or short third, I should say. Arshdeep was the fielder, and straight away Puran made a comment to Kyle Mayers. That's Arshdeep. Let's try to push a single. First delivery of this over. Recognizing it's Sanju Samson deep at mid-on, gets a single.
Over the top, not intentional, but gets the boundary. Kyle Mayers gets in on the act.
Went hard at it. Kyle Mayers wasn't sure if the ball was going to swing significantly away from him, but catered for that away movement. Wasn't a bad delivery. It was on the up, wasn't in the slot, but luckily for Mayers, flies in that vacant deep third region.
This one he connects. This one is intentional, and this one is 6. That's a super blow from Mayers.
Fuller in the slot, and Mayers dining out. Spoke about him being a little bit stronger with his offside play. That's bread and butter for Kyle Mayers. Might just get him into the groove required for this run chase. Move to 15 now from 6, Mayers.
$11 runs from 3 balls in this over. Huge shot from Arshdeep. Finger goes up again. They'll consider reviewing this, no doubt. He reviews it almost instantaneously, Kyle Mayers.
Thank you, Nigel. Player review for LBW, given out. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on field is out. Check the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front one, please? Ball's passed pretty close to the inside edge of the bat. I'd like to use ultra edge to confirm if there's contact between bat and ball. Ultra edge is coming up. It's a flat line all the way past the bat. Satisfied there's no contact between bat and ball. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Ball tracking's coming up. It's pitching in line, impacts in line, wickets, umpire's call. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to stay with your original decision
upheld.
to make your signal now.
Wicket goes. Arshdeep, after being struck for a 6 and a 4, gets his revenge. Mayers goes for 15. West Indies now 32 for 3. West Indies T20I captain Rahman Powell, perhaps much earlier than he expected, makes his way out to the middle. And this is the reason why he's here. That knuckleball, pace off, all the pace off, beats the bat, hits the pad. On umpire's call, just clipping that leg stump. Really good delivery from Arshdeep Singh, and they recognize the importance of that wicket. Nice little partnership, was going quite a few boundaries. Now these two, a lot rests on their shoulders.
The two very important things about that last dismissal. One, the great skill from Arshdeep Singh to bowl that knuckleball with great accuracy, the ball finishing on the line of the stumps. And secondly, the pace off just about 20 kilometers per hour less in speed to the previous delivery. That's a major challenge for any batter looking to score runs.
Pulled away in the air, falls safely, just one. Puran wanted two, Powell didn't. 33 for 3. Mukesh Kumar replaces Captain Hardik Pandya from the Players Pavilion end. Yet to take a wicket in T20Is. Made his debut in all 3 formats on this tour. Very skillful bowler. We saw him at the back end at the death in that first game with his Yorkers, nailing them repeatedly.
Might have been a thought by Hardik Pandya to employ one of his spinners to Rovman Powell in the power play. But I'm sure that's probably cancelled with the fact that Nicholas Puran is there and most of his spinners will be turning the ball into him as a left-hander. Again, a situation where a captain has to make a call with an option. So critical decision-making in the outcome of a T20 international game. Gone for his seamer instead. Of course, no Kuldeep Yadav. So if Yadav was in this squad, that to me might have been a viable option. Using Yadav in the power play to spin the ball away from Puran and to Rovman Powell. Struggled a bit with the slower bowlers.
Straight to the fielder. It'll be interesting to see who he uses for that final power play over. Does he go back to Arshdeep for another, or does he save him with 2 for the end? Or does he in fact use a spinner for the 6, which will be, as you're alluding to, a little bit risky with Nicholas Puran there.
Yeah, used 3 overs of spin in that first T20 international in the power play. There is one of his 3 spin options, Chahal.
Finds the gap this time. Found the fielder previously. No such luck for Mukesh the second time around.
Gap finding with ease from Nicholas Puran. Bowlers are under pressure when bowling to him because he's so destructive in capitalizing on any length deliveries with width. And he's very competent scoring through the offside and the onside. So your margin for error is quite narrow when bowling to him.
That's not a highlight. That's another 4. On repeat, Nicholas Puran.
Maybe was searching for the Yorker, Mukesh Kumar. Yeah, pressure getting to him. That's a significant part of bowling in the power play and bowling in this format of the game. You don't get it right, you pay a heavy price. More so to Nicholas Puran with the form we saw in that first T20 international. Here again, looking as fluent as ever.
Yeah, the margin for error in the first 6, very, very minute. Expensive start for Mukesh Kumar. 10 runs coming from his first 5 gone, 43 for 3.
Nicholas Puran on the charge. Looks the standout batter between both teams, as Ravi Bishnoi is the first introduction of spin back into the 11. Kuldeep Yadav not fit. Final over of the power play. If there is one spinner in this team that has a good record against Nicholas Puran, it is Bishnoi. Deep mid-wicket and long off, the 2 fielders in the deep. The class of Puran takes the field out of play. They're on the charge, Ian Bishop.
They've lost wickets, but they know how important it is to capitalize as much as you can on the power play, and Puran's form is quite evident with his stroke play.
And long enough. 50 for the West Indies. And a statement of intent from Nicholas Puran. Bishnoi under pressure.
Robin Powell mentioned the fact that the West Indies left-handed batters, and particularly Puran and Hetmeyer, have to try to take charge of the spin. Bishnoi's record against Powell is excellent. 5 dismissals, so it tells you about the significance of Puran. He averages 153 in T20s on this ground, Nicholas Puran. I think that's an exceptional batting average on a particular ground. Played here for the Amazon Warriors in earlier years, and in general T20s averages 53 here at the National Stadium.
In the air, mid-off in the ring. There's a field change made by Hardik Pandya, and Puran is toying with it at the moment.
Not an easy over to bowl. And of course, Bishnoi's googly does most of the work for him. So good on Puran to be hitting with the anticipated movement of the delivery.
Just too good. Cannot stop the flow of boundaries. Puran is making all the difference all by himself.
Bishnoi won't be happy though with his execution in this over. With his 2 deep fielders leg side, he's given Puran the chance to score offside, which is totally against what he should, the lines he should be bowling.
How was that?
18 runs off the over to finish the power play. The West Indies are 61 for 3.
At the end of 6, West Indies 61 for 3.
End of the power play. Could sense much to the relief of Hardik Pandya. Can spread the field now as he introduces Yuzvendra Chahal from the pavilion end. Leg spin from both ends. We'll see if Bishnoi continues. I think he'd like an over with the field spread. Rovman Powell on strike. Now a decision to make here for the TV umpire. Going upstairs.
Thank you, Nigel. Review for stumping. TV umpire to director. We have umpire's review for stumping. I've checked the front foot. So fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Ball appears pretty close to the inside edge of the bat. Can I have ultra edge just to confirm there's no contact between bat and ball? Ultra edge is coming up. There's a flat line as the ball goes past the bat. Satisfied there's no contact between bat and ball. Can you give me your best side on shot, please? Foot is grounded. Foot is grounded. Foot is still grounded. Foot remains grounded. Remains grounded. Foot is grounded again, came off the ground, but grounded again before the bails are removed. I'm satisfied. Satisfied the foot remains grounded. Have a decision for the big screen.
Relief for Rovman Powell and relief for the spirit of the game that has averted a storm. Kishan thought he had Rovman Powell napping. Leave that go now. Kishan is looking for these dismissals, Bish. We go back to the ODI in Barbados, where he tried something similar. And Gregory Brathwaite, who was the TV umpire, was on field at the time, and we didn't go upstairs. It was the right call, foot was grounded. But at that time, umpire Brathwaite determined that the ball was dead. That's the reason he didn't send it upstairs. In this case, Nigel Duguid has sent it up, assuming the ball to still be in play. You could hear the extended boos growing as the big screen showed that replay and the time it took for Kishan. Like I said, we've averted a storm, I guess. Puran's decided to come back. It's a really good run. He was running to the danger end. Identified that he's going to cover this ground before Mukesh Kumar can pick up and throw.
Very good. It's some of what we've talked about through the white ball leg of this tour. Running hard, putting bowlers under pressure, because there's a dual effect. You cause them to make a mistake as they come to field the ball. Look at Puran go. The other effect of it is that you tire out the bowlers who are fielding in that position, because they have to do so much more work at a high level.
And as you discuss preferred matchups or batters that a bowler would want to bowl to, Chahal would want to bowl as much of this over to Rovman Powell. It denies him that opportunity too. He was eyeing some distance, Rovman Powell. Only ends up getting the single.
West Indies 67 for 3.
I think Leslie Reefer is saying to Kishan and to the fielders, if you can throw the ball in on the full instead of throwing it onto the practice pitches, which is deliberately done even in the first ODI. Kishan's been pointing practice pitch, bounce it in on the practice pitch to soften the ball. So Reefer is saying keep it up into the glove without hitting the pitch.
He's a sweeper. Could sense that Nicholas Puran is kingmaker at the moment. He will dictate the course of this game the longer he stays, as much as India's chances reduce. Slight interruption is one of the substitute fielders for India was walking across the side screen, and then anyway, we're all set now. What a beauty. 68 for 3.
In fact, now the overs are completed. West Indies 68 for the loss of
Asking rate just over 6. Now, last ball of the previous over, Ian Bishop talks about softness of the ball.
But also another reason why Powell made his statement yesterday. Where he talked about, and I'll just stress it one more time, that's one of the things they're building well in theory, the left-handed batters in the top order, negating leg spin. Now, I don't think he will back down, Powell, from what we saw in that first T20. But that leg spinner from Chahal there was a reason why they can be so difficult against the right-handed batters.
It might also make Powell think twice before stepping down. So Sanju Samson beaten all ends up. It's a big appeal. This time, Nigel Duguid's finger stays down. This is the matchup. Dismissed 5 times in 9 innings. Rovman Powell off Ravi Bishnoi.
And at an average of 5.6. So the average, it means he hasn't scored against him a lot. This is an opportunity for Powell to try to rectify this, either by trying to dominate or just getting off strike and letting Puran take most of it.
It's interesting that we didn't see Hardik Pandya go for the review.
I think part of the challenge historically for Powell against Bishnoi is that he's expecting, because he's a wrist spinner, that ball turning a lot from leg to off. Bishnoi's googly is what does most of the work, not all, but most of the work for him.
That's well played. Akshar Patel is one of India's better fielders in the outfield, and it's what he's telling himself. It's been observed and opined by a number of pundits who follow Bishnoi's career. You'd rather play him as a googly bowler with the occasional leg break than the other way around.
Play him as an off spinner, and getting off strike was perhaps a good result there for Rovman Powell.
Excellent this from Puran. Completion of the power play has just measured himself. 48 of 27. The back of T20 100 in the final of MLC.
जाना
3,000 T20 runs for Rovman Powell. Single to finish the 8, 72 for 3.
At the end of 8 overs, West Indies 72 for the loss of 3.
Right here.
Just that last ball of the previous over, sliding into Rovman Powell and playing it correctly. Different to how he looked to play Chahal.
Fielder at long off will only watch that sail way over his head. West Indies captain with his first 6.
Now, the last delivery that Powell faced from Chahal was a big ripping leg break that went past the outside of the bat to the keeper. It has not inhibited him from coming down the pitch, and that's why I say Rovman Powell, it may not matter the mode that he played in that first T20I, but Chahal will probably be thinking as well, I might want piece of this.
Drags his length. Powell will feel like he's missed out. Hit that real hard. Just have a look at what would have happened had Hardik Pandya sent this upstairs. There you go. Well, well, well. How much will that cost India? And this is where Ishan Kishan, who now seems to be christened as India's all-format keeper, still has slight room for improvement. His assistance to his captain when it comes to reviewing.
How was that?
Seen it from Chahal when a batter takes him down. He's got all the experience to toss it wider, slower. Call is for two. They've taken off. Excellent running. 50 of the partnership. Shift in momentum that Powell and Puran have orchestrated.
Yeah, against the energy. And again, young West Indian players, regional players looking on. Look at this. It should be every time. And that's Ravi Bishnoi who has had to do that fielding, right? So that's energy he has had to expend in running at full intensity, trying to stop that to which he didn't. So that's a dual effort that I'm talking about.
Nicely used.
82 for 3.
9 overs have been completed. West Indies 82.
Bricks in one over.
Target 100.
Much needed partnership after the loss of 3 early wickets.
Yeah, just look at it again. This is not the first time in this innings. So he gets it there and they both communicate and take off hard. Bigger side of the ground, slightly bigger. And they get home quite easily. So when you can hit the boundaries as Puran can, as Powell can, you're still going to get those boundaries in any T20 career. But if you can top it up, let's say, with 5 or 6 or 7 extra singles, that's your score that elevates and the team score as well. Plus you tire out one of the opposing bowlers, Hardik Pandya.
Number 10 in T20I cricket for Nicholas Puran. Half of those against India. He loves this opposition and they love him here in Guyana.
He loves this ground as well. Mention his average coming in here at 153, but it's also been an excellent year in the qualifiers in Zimbabwe. His batting was top class in the MLCs, come off that 100 in the final as well as other scores in that tournament, and giving West Indies of his best here as well. He'll want to, though, he'll want to finish it if he can.
Hardik Pandya back into the attack and not pleased with his fielders as Powell and Puran have pinched two yet again.
So when you've got the type of power that both these batters can display, fielders are sitting right back on the boundary rope hoping to stop a 6 or 4, and that opens up the chance to run doubles or triples, as the case may be, as rare as it is.
Brought himself back. Hardik understands the game could slip away with a few more overs of this. Asking rate now just under 6.5. A terrific position, the West Indies, to take a 2-0 lead in this series. How clever is that? Rodman Powell is a different player at the back of that innings in the first T20I. 4 more.
And it's where he's more at home with the ball coming on to the bat from Hardik Pandya. He's not invincible, but that is really good touch and awareness of where the fielders are not and where the gaps are. Deep third is now dropping back. Long off comes up to mid off because of that shot.
Now, it could go straight to him. It does. Captain gets captain. Mukesh Kumar pushed back after the previous ball. And Hardik Pandya, who brought himself back into the attack, provides the breakthrough yet again.
When a plan comes off, it sweetens a bowler no end. Whether he put him there for a catch, expecting a catch, only Hardik Pandya will know, but he definitely shifted the field, and Powell will kick himself just playing into that plan. 21 to Powell, 89 for 4.
It is time for the Blue Waters drinks break. Many things stand out in Guyana. Shimron Hetmeyer is one of those. Local boy. Hardik Pandya isn't pleased that despite longer interval, Hetmeyer isn't ready. He is now. Short ball to test him first up. He'll be off the mark here, Hetmeyer. He's off the mark with 2. A wicket and 9. At the halfway point, the West Indies are 91 for 4.
halfway stage of the West Indian innings, 91 for 4. Healthy run rate, those 4 wickets will be a bit of a concern for them. All-rounders to come. Holder, Shepherd, Hosein. Zarek Joseph will fancy himself as well. Hardik, Pandya, 3 wickets to him, 1 for Arshdeep. Nothing yet for the 2 spinners used so far, and Mukesh.
Two legs. It's coming over to you. Thank you very much, Imran. You need all the help you can get.
Nicholas Puran has been in sublime form. Unbeaten 50 from 29. Bishnoi. Two left-handers now at the crease. This is the reason why Hetmyer is here. Rahman Powell picking out the fielder in the deep.
Yes, boy,
Mukesh
yes,
Kumar
boy, Bishi.
just positioned there
One wicket
prior to that
boy.
ball.
Last man batting here, boys.
And serendipitously for India, Powell finds him. Shakira Selman alongside me. Shakira 62 from 58, 6 wickets in hand. Where do you see things at the moment?
Well, I'll have to say West Indies are ahead and they will think they should go on to win this game. After 10, India just got to 65. So they're well ahead of where India were. And with the depth in this team, Jason Holder, Romario Shepherd, all very capable with the bat. They will expect to win this one quite comfortably. But these two at the crease will have an important role to play, especially with the spinners having the majority of overs to bowl.
Edged. We'll have to find out if that has carried. Shubman Gill claims the catch. Bishnoi celebrates. Have a look at what the umpires are doing. Maya seems to be on his way. Quick discussion between the two, Nigel Duguid and Leslie Reefer Jr. Yeah, they're asking for some assistance.
Thanks, Leslie. A review for fair catch. TV umpire to director. We have an umpire's review for fair catch. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Ball is clearly off the bat. Just take that back for me, please. From the first look, it does appear as if the ball may have grounded. Yep. Can we zoom that up, Mark? Thank you, Mark. I'm satisfied. I'm ready to make my decision to the big screen.
Not out. How ironic. Shubman Gill involved in a similar catch in the WTC final. The man claiming the catch this time wasn't sure, understandably, and confirmed via the replays. Bishnoi, who predominantly bowls those googlies, whether it is right-handers or left-handers, found the edge but didn't carry. How about that ball just brushing the wicketkeeper's pad. on the way through to Shubman Gill. Falling just short. Have a look at the wicketkeeper's left pad. Disappears. Nicholas Puran is in a no-nonsense mood. If you miss your length, you're gone. 6 to end the over. 99 for 4.
Over number 11, West Indies, 99 for the loss of 4.
Last ball of that Bishnoi over. Just misses his length, and Puran dispatches that one high and handsome. 3 sixes now for Puran, along with 6 fours. Just exudes confidence. We know that he packs a punch. Very powerful when he hits the ball. 54 from 54 now, the West Indies.
This is exactly what Badri was talking about. That ball which fell short of Shubman Gill just took Kishan's left pad before going through to him, taking the pace of the ball. That eventually being the reason it didn't carry to him on the full. Hardik Pandya for his final over.
Yeah, captain looking to provide some bit of inspiration. Chief destroyer so far with 3 of the 4 wickets to fall. Picked up 2 wickets in his first over to set the tone for India. Nicholas Puran countered that with some aggression. Good start to his final over. Nicholas Puran has an astounding record here at the Providence Stadium in Ghana. Scored an unbeaten 74 against Bangladesh here last year in the 3rd T20I. Just continues along this time around against India. Lots of power, but some deft touches as well. Dexterity combined with his prowess. Hetmeyer goes aerial. Couple bounces into the boundary. Gap finding once again.
Yeah, he probably didn't time this one to perfection. But what he's done well is he's found the gap. No one in the deep, in that mid-wicket area. So as long as he clears the infield, it does go for 4.
100 up for the West Indies. Quick single, needs a direct hit. Commitment from Hetmeyer, puts in the dive.
And if you're a West Indian fan, you're happy to see that even Shimron Hetmeyer is pushing and running those quick singles.
And Nicholas Puran, fastest 50s in T20Is. Let's have a look at that. This opposition in particular. Wants to. I don't think that they'll get there. What he'll want to do, however, Nicholas Puran, is to see his team over the line. All well and good to do what he's done so far, but don't leave it for anyone else. Make sure you're there to the very end, just like he did in that final. scored an unbeaten 137. Get your team to that victory.
And especially when so many right-handers have to come and the spinners still have a few overs to go.
End of Hardik Pandya's spell. He's completed his allotment of 3 for 35. 12 overs gone, 106 for 4.
As he had a movement up to 12, that's the lead 106 for the loss of 4, 47 needed for 48.
No sign of Aksa Patel just yet. Bishnoi 3, Chahal 2. Will be Arshdeep for his third from the opposite end that he bowled previously.
And normally, Hardik Pandya would prefer to use Arshdeep a bit deeper into the innings. But you can only think that this is prompted because Nicholas Puran is still there and because of the manner in which he's taking down the spinners.
Yeah, so he's had to change his plan. So this is really good from the West Indies and from their very experienced middle order batter. Doesn't want to give India a sniff in this contest. If they get either of these two left-handers, you think that the spinners will be back in the contest, particularly if they get Nicholas Puran.
Yeah, what Puran's presence has done is Arshdeep Patel hasn't bowled over for India as yet.
6 from the moment it left the bat. The hometown hero, Shimron Hetmaya. And just look at that and listen to that.
And the crowd is even happier to see their local boy Hetmaya get into the That one is gone 84 meters behind the stands. Lots of smiles and waving of flags.
Yeah, you can see the smile from Hetmaya. You can also see the difference and the disparity between the two worms. West Indies well ahead. West Indies also ahead in this series, leading 1-0. Can they make it 2-0? Certainly on course to do so, 39 from 45. Slow ball into the surface. Additional fielders on the leg side on the boundary. Tempting Hetmaya to take them on. Wisely just gets a single because of the lack of pace. Over to Puran.
So West Indies well ahead, just needing 38 from 44 deliveries.
Partnership now 27 from 18 balls. Hetmaya has come and gotten off quickly, 17 from 11, just keeping the momentum going. Ten runs so far. Last delivery from Arshdeep. Another slow ball, might even be a knuckleball. Good end from Arshdeep, but a good over for the West Indies, 117 for 4.
At the end of 13 overs, West Indies 117 for a loss of 4.
More balls remaining than runs needed. 6 wickets in hand for the West Indies.
West Indies now need 36.
Mukesh Kumar, just 1 over so far from him. Expensive 10 from it. Back into the attack from the media center end. Looking to get back in this contest. Can he deliver? Both fine leg and third in the circle. Yeah, I think we saw 12 consecutive maidens from Mukesh, or at least low full tosses in that last T20I. Confirmation of the schedule. Second T20I today. Another one to follow in a couple days' time right here at the National Stadium. And then we finish off at Broward County in Florida. Can the West Indies go 2-0 up today? And with the possibility of closing the series out in a couple days' time. Fine leg goes back. Sweeper comes in the circle. Can he nail those Yorkers?
He does, but very good running once more by these two. And Mukesh will be hoping that one of these Yorkers can result in a wicket for him. India does need a wicket. This partnership growing to 30 from just 21 deliveries.
Does he find the gap? 2 fielders in pursuit. Aksa Patel hauls it in, limits them to just 1. Good fielding from him. Just hear that grunt from Puran, things that he missed out. Cricket West Indies joins forces with IB Cap. Log on to the website to find out more about this partnership. Got delivery. Puran might just be thinking about giving himself a little bit of room on the leg stump to access the vacant area on the offside. Fielder deep backward point on the boundary and long off. So acreage of space between them. Bottom right off screen, long off. So if he can beat those 2 fielders in the inner circle. Goes leg side, gentle full toss, and another 6 for Nicholas Puran. Misses his length. So dangerous when you do bowling at this stage of the innings.
Yeah, forget that cover boundary. When you're gifted with a full toss on the pads, it's easy pickings for Nicholas Puran. He goes on to 67. His 4th 6.
straight to the fielder, taken on the second attempt. Absolutely smashed it to Sanju Samson, who momentarily lost it but recovered quite well. That's the wicket they were looking for. Is it too late? A glimmer of hope for him there.
It's an excellent knock, but he'll be disappointed, Nicholas Puran, that he wasn't able to get that either over the head of Sanju Samson or a bit more to his left. He absolutely nailed it, but picked out the fielder who took it on the second attempt. But it's the end of a brilliant knock. Puran goes for 67 from just 40 deliveries. West Indies 126 for 5.
The new batsman for West Indies, number 16, the man from Barbies, Romario Shepherd.
New batter for the West Indies, another son of the soil, Romario Shepherd. Really superb strike rate. This is the reason why he's here. First T20 international wicket for Mukesh Kumar. Picked up his first in Test, his first in ODIs, and this was his first in this format. Absolutely nailed, but straight to the field, and that's what he's gesticulating there. Needed to find the gap. And straight away, the reintroduction of spin. Bishnoi back into the attack. Slip in position, looking for another wicket. Playing a miss. Googly, as you would expect. Shimron Hetmaya, perhaps not expecting so much turn. Huge shot, might have pitched outside leg. Umpire Leslie Reefer Jr. thinks so. Reviewed it. Let's have a closer look.
Thank you, Leslie. Review for LBW given not out on field. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on field is not out. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front one, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved, but I'd like to use outrage just to confirm. Dredge is coming up. Forward. Forward. Thank you. It's a flat line as the ball goes past the bat. No contact between bat and ball. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Standing by for ball tracking. It's pitching outside leg. Thank you. I'm going to go back to Leslie on field. Leslie, stay with your original.
Yeah, good decision. Decision upheld. Suspected as much, pitching outside leg. And it's so, as is so often the case, the ones that you do review are not out, and the ones that you don't, and the ones that are in fact out.
I got it. Wabishi.
So no sign of aggression so far by Sharon Hetmeyer. This is Bishnoi's last over. So does he protect him, or protect Shepherd rather, from facing him?
Seems as though that's the plan. 4 dot deliveries, all defensive shots. 2 deliveries to go.
Nicely, Bishy boy.
Another dot. But I don't think Hetmeyer or West Indies will mind. They just don't want to give India a further opening.
Nicely,
Not a
Bishy.
maiden, but the end of Bishnoi's spell. Good spell from him. Though wicketless, none for 31 from 4. West Indies 127 for 5.
127 for loss of 5. 26 needed from the last 5 overs. Keep your eye on the middle. Balls will be coming your way. 7 sixes so far in the innings. Number 8 will be heading your way.
Center. Check. Yeah, center.
Third over for Yuzvendra Chahal. 2 is the call. Oh, trouble, big trouble, big trouble. Shepherd's gone. The 2 Guyanese players were speaking a different language on that occasion. Miscommunication.
No, not what West Indian fans would have wanted in the scenario. The West Indies looking pretty at the end of 15 overs, then this. Initial call was 2. Romario Shepherd just committed on the basis of the call. Wasn't assessing in that response for a second. Gone without scoring. 128 for 6. Is this a twist?
Jason Holder replaces Romario Shepherd. Important phase of the innings with wickets falling.
Yeah, look at that last dismissal. The first one was taken in quick time. Hetmeyer dipped and turned and assessed and sent Romario Shepherd back. At that time, he was already down the track.
So good at bowling to the right-handed batters, and this is where Hetmeyer and his significance, as was Puran's before as a left-handed batter. Holder, not a bad player of spin. Slip in place.
Yeah, boy. Too much spin on the ball.
Big spinner. Kishan, you can never tell with him. Upstairs it goes.
Thanks, Leslie. Review for stumping. TV umpire to director. We have an umpire's review for stumping. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front horn, please? Doesn't appear to be any back. I'd like to use our treasure just to confirm. Yeah, I'm satisfied. There's a gap between bat and ball, flat line. Can you just give me your best side-on shot now, please? Foot is out of the ground, out of the ground. I'm gonna need another look at this from next side, if possible. Boot appears to be on the crease. I'd like to have a look from the next side, please. Yep. From this image, it appears as there's nothing behind the popping crease, but I'd still like to have a look from the other side. Yeah, forward, bail completely removed. This is their zoomed up version. Yeah, doesn't appear as if there's anything behind the line. I'm ready to make my decision to the big screen.
Oh, that's a decision. Right decision made using technology. Jason Holder grimaces. Might have injured himself. Not a sight you'd want to see if you're a West Indian fan. Double dose of trouble. Holder goes without scoring. It's 128 for 7 now.
Akil Hosein, left-handed batter with a chance to stick around and try to see it to the end with Shimron Hetmeyer. West Indies have lost 3 for 2 in the last 11 deliveries, starting with and including the Nicholas Puran wicket. Mukesh Kumar has a couple of overs left. Arshdeep has 1 after this. Slip still in play.
Just goes to show that you can't take any situation in a T20 game for granted. So good. Chahal with a little bit of turn on offer. Just sneaking past the outside edge of Jason Holder's bat, luring him forward to his demise. Good work from Kishan behind the stumps.
Hope that Jason Holder hasn't injured himself too seriously. He's a key component of the games to come in the short term. No Axel Patel today yet. Ishan wants to review everything. Hardik is taking his time and consulting before he uses it. Now they go up for it.
Thank you, Nigel. Review for LBW given not out on the field. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on the field is not out. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Yeah, I'm satisfied that there is no bat. Just take that back for me and forward. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Just use ultra edge just to confirm. As a flat line, no contact between bat and ball. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Pitching in line, impacts in line, and wickets hitting. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to change your not out decision to out.
There it is, another one. 3 wickets falling in this, the 16th over. Hetmeyer missing one from Chahal, goes for 22. West Indies in further trouble now, 129 for 8.
Mukesh having an intense discussion with Captain Pandya. How this game has turned on its head in the 16th over again. Zari Joseph.
Just misjudged this length. Shimron Hetmeyer should have been forward, was playing back, trying to use the depth of the crease to work the ball onside. That's a risk you run when you choose that type of approach. Appreciable turn from Chahal, just beating Hetmeyer on that occasion.
Just looking at the last IPL or two, he's bowled a lot more overs, I think, in that final phase of the innings, Yuzvendra Chahal. Very expert at it. Bowling spin deeper into the innings is something we're seeing more and more. Not just any spin, though. Wrist spin or mystery spin. Now, Mukesh Kumar. And Akil Hosein, who has pretensions to be an all-rounder. Wide, deep wide third. Which means that he wants to bowl wide of off stump to the left-handed Hosein.
Just a runner ball required in this scenario for the West Indies, so you still think they hold a bit of an advantage in the scenario. India, they'll have to try and take further wickets and also restrict run scoring. That's a massive challenge for a captain, for a fielding team in a T20 international. No room for error for the bowlers. Only 5 bowlers used so far.
It's a good stop from Chahal. Oh, he's coming back. They're coming back. No. Zari Joseph just turned and was coming. It's good from Chahal as well. His fielding is not his strong suit.
It's high intensity, this scenario right now, so you can see that in the body language of the fielders. Chahal putting his body on the line to save an extra run. West Indies also a bit nervous with the running between the wickets. So important to keep your cool in this scenario.
Different field now compared to the first delivery that Hosein faced. There's no deep third. Instead, there are 4 fielders on the leg side boundary. Well, there were. There is now the deep third. Very fine. Top right of your screen down towards the boundary there. Where's it pitched? Where has it pitched? Has it pitched on or outside leg stump? Kishan wants it, Mukesh wants it, Hardik wants it. TV umpire again.
Another review. Keep your eyes on
Thank you, Leslie. Review for LBW. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on field is not out. I've checked the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front zone, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved, but I'd like to use outrage to confirm. Outrage is coming up. All the way forward. It's a flat line as the ball goes past the bat. Satisfied there is no contact between bat and ball. Can we move on to ball track and when ready? It's pitching outside leg. I'm going to go back to Leslie on field. Leslie, stay with the original not out decision. You're on screen now. Make yours.
All reviews lost. Kishan has work to do. That's too far outside leg stump to be reviewing. Anyway, it was a dot.
Again, just to reiterate, the situation doesn't warrant a lot of boundary hitting. And that should be uppermost in the minds of Alzari Joseph, Akil Hosein. The focus should be on rotation of strike. Surely in this phase of the innings, you will get a bad ball and get yourself far ahead of the game. Can he curb his natural stroke play?
Important dot, and India are 3 minutes behind with their over rate. Remember, if they are too far behind, the penalty of having additional fielders inside the circle can be instituted, as happened in the first game for both teams, who also fined for slow over rate as well. Good over from Mukesh Kumar. 21 to get, 132 for 8. Yuzvendra Chahal for his final one. West Indies were so far ahead now. Puran's wicket stalled everything. Yeah, things coming much closer together after Puran's wicket went down. West Indies lost 3 for 2 and then 4 for 3 in 13 balls. We had a cliffhanger in the first game in Brian Lara Academy, and now we've had a change of mind because Chahal took the ball, and then a change of mind from Hardik where he said, Arshdeep, no, you come and give me this over. Might be squeezed for 4. Yes, it is squeezed for 4. That man, Akil Hosein.
And it's a pace-on delivery. All he had to do was just angle his bat and find the gap. Did it to perfection. He's got batting pedigree. Akil Hosein. And he finished the job for the West Indies. Is it the right choice by Pandya to go for pace instead of spin? I think that Chahal would have been probably the better option to Hosein, the left-hander hitting into the wind. I'm sure he would have favored himself bowling against Alzari Joseph from the media center end. Of course, Hardik Pandya might be thinking about the end in mind. Probably prize a wicket here, then put further pressure on that new batter to come.
Got Chahal at long leg, very wide, square, round the wicket. Welcome dot. You know Alzari Joseph, you know if he gets something loose, even though it's a runner ball, he'll try to go scoring. Come back for two. It's an interesting angle to come around the wicket, and Arshdeep will know what he wants, but sometimes you would have seen a left-arm seamer with the wind coming off the offside, come over the wicket and bowl full and wide with a deep backward point cover and long off to the right-hander. But now he wants to bowl straightish with the odd option of off-stump. Now he's further going to bowl straight because deep third is coming up to short third and deep mid-wicket. They've confused themselves and me. He's pushing back the deep third now.
A little bit of indecision. I like the angle from which he runs. Goes behind the umpire and just pops out.
Could it be two? Could it be two? Tilak? No, just one.
Yeah, I mentioned that angle because it's a little more challenging for you as a batter to get full sighting of a bowler, especially when he runs from behind the umpire. So your time to size that bowler up to get yourself in a state of readiness is shortened. Remember, Shoaib Akhtar was another bowler who used that type of angle to good effect. Very different now from over the wicket to Hosein.
Good from Hosein. He's kept the strike. 12 from 12. Don't go anywhere. 141 for 8. .12 to get. Run a ball required. Mukesh Kumar round the wicket to Hosein.
Make that 15 runs and 3 wickets beyond the 15th over. Every single delivery seems to be an event in this, the last phase of the game. Run scoring proving to be quite challenging for teams chasing in the last 5. We saw India struggle to get 37 from 30 in that first T20 international. The equation was 26 from 30 at the start of the 16th over for the West Indies.
6. Maybe just short. It's into the wind, but it's in a vacant part of the ground. They'll check this.
Cool and calm, Alzari Joseph. He's not afraid to play his strokes. Did it go all the way directly onto that advertising cushion? Seems so. Might need to magnify that view on impact.
He plays shots, rather it's a run of ball required. If he gets something in his zone, he will play his shots. Important to get this decision right. This should give us something a little bit more definitive. Of course, because the tightness of the game, I know these reviews and stuff are taking a while, but it's important to get them right. In the context of the game, it annoys some, doesn't annoy me. Get it right. That's the most important thing. What is it, Reefer Jr.? 6 of them. 5 to get from 10. Heroics from Joseph, so close to getting over the line.
Again, evidence of the depth in batting in this West Indian side as compared to India. Aksa Patel batting at number 7. Beyond 7, there's still Holder and Hosein. Not forgetting Joseph as well.
Hosein clashed with Mukesh Kumar. Yeah, and Aksa hasn't bowled, so basically he's played as a batter when you have guys like Jaiswal in your lineup. And they would have been hoping, Hardik, it's another decision you rightly pointed out, Chahal's last over. He would have been hoping for something more significant if it gets down to the final over. Little small margins and decision. I think the Mukesh needs a wicket. He needs a wicket. Couple of runs, which means 2 required with 2 wickets in hand and 8 deliveries left. 150 up for the West Indies.
Confidence shown by Akeal Hosein in this aspect of his game. He's a genuine all-rounder. Might not have produced the runs with the bat, but of course, at the tier of cricket below, he's proven himself with the bat in this situation as well, showing maturity in approach.
You would have been wondering why he was batting at 11 in the qualifiers in Zimbabwe. He's won it for the West Indies. And again, it's a typical celebration from Akeal Hosein.